Hey, Girl Scouts and viewers, and welcome to episode 28 of Girl Talk Weekly. We're your hosts. I'm Heather.
And Julia, and we're coming in to you live today. Be sure to like, follow, and subscribe so you don't miss a thing.
And if you are new to Girl Scouts, no worries. This show will give you a taste of what Girl Scouts is all about.
That's right. We would love to have you as our sister and Girl Scouts. I'll be sure to drop a link below, and so you can find information on how you can join.
With Thanksgiving right around the corner, Julia and I thought today's episode would be best if it were centered around helping us get into the holiday spirit.
And what better way to get ready for Thanksgiving than find out what we're thankful for this year?
Yeah, I even wore my Thanksgiving colors.
Ooh.
Okay, but before we get into that, we wanted to share some important information for our members in our council with dates that are coming up. So let's take a look.
What news do we have today?
Well, just one, but woo, it's a good one. Council has officially launched our Girl Scouts Got Talent competition. One lucky and talented grand prize winner will win a trip to Hollywood or Orlando to visit Universal Studios.
And all you have to do is submit a video of yourself demonstrating your talent to your troop leader. Troops will vote for their best video to submit to their communities, where a second round of voting will take place.
Be sure to get your videos in for your shot at the grand prize. Second and third place winners will also receive rewards. So get those videos in. We want to see your best talents: singing, dancing, art, anything that showcases your amazing skills.
Troop voting should conclude December 7th, so be sure to get yours in on time. For more information on the Girl Scouts Got Talent program, be sure to visit our website at gssjc.org.
And that's all we have on the docket today for the news.
So, Heather, are you ready to get into the Thanksgiving spirit?
Yeah, sure. I thought for this activity, we could write letters. You know, it's the best way to express yourself to someone else, especially if you're trying to reach someone who is socially distancing.
Plus, who doesn't love receiving letters? I love opening the mailbox and finding something addressed to me.
Me too. Except usually all I find are bills.
Man, same. But I love the idea of writing someone a letter. Who should we address ours to?
Well, let's see. All right, I made a list with some ideas of people who might be a good start.
Man, Heather, you and your list. That's why I love having you as a co-host.
Well, the feeling is mutual. So, on this list, I wrote some good ideas for people who might be a good start for letter receiving.
Like family, like moms and dads, brothers and sisters, and grandmas and grandpas.
Yeah. That first one is an obvious one, but with everything 2020 has thrown at us, I know my family and I have been through a lot together. I mean, sometimes it's nice to remind them that even through it all, the love of a family is something that we should be thankful for.
I like that. You also have teachers, doctors, police officers, mail people.
Yeah, frontline workers.
That's true. I have friends who are teachers, and from what they tell me, it's been a really difficult year for teachers, especially if they're having to adapt to online teaching or if they had to prepare for an in-person class.
Yes, and doctors have been working tirelessly since March, you know, when all this started. Same goes with police officers and mail persons.
These are some good ideas. What else do you have?
I also wrote friends, extended family, neighbors, and senior citizens.
I have a lot of friends who I haven't talked to in a while because of COVID. It might be a good idea to drop a line to them and write them a letter. I bet they would really appreciate it.
Yeah, of course. I mean, same goes for extended family. Ever since we've had to limit the number of people in family gatherings, there are some cousins and aunts and uncles that I haven't seen.
Neighbors and senior citizens are a great idea too, especially since we may not even know what they're maybe going through or facing. I know that if I was having a bad day and I was receiving a lovely letter from my neighbor, that might just turn my whole day around.
It would. And of course, lastly, on my list, I included to my future self.
Writing a letter to yourself? That sounds crazy.
Well, it's actually really helpful. We did this exercise for writing when I was in school. And at the beginning of the school year, we would write a letter to ourselves that discussed what we were feeling and what we wanted to accomplish, what we were looking forward to, or what was weighing us down.
Did you mail it to yourself?
No, but we kept it tucked away until the end of the year, until the very last day of school. Then we would open the letters, read them to ourselves, and even sometimes aloud to the class. And it was just fun to see how much had changed in such a short few months.
Oh, I see. I like writing a letters to the future. That sounds neat. I might do that.
So, Girl Scouts and viewers at home, there are just a few ideas of how you might be able to follow along with us in this episode, but feel free to come up with ideas of your own.
Plus, it doesn't have to be a letter. I know that sometimes I find it difficult to write an entire letter, but there's other ways to show someone you care for them. For example, a good activity for daisies and brownies might be make a thankful flower craft.
Ooh, what is that?
So you start off by making a center of the flower and choosing someone who will receive the gift. For example, if I was writing this to Grandma, I would write Grandma or her name on the center of the flower. Then on each petal, I would write something that I was thankful for. Or maybe I would draw a picture and decorate the petals instead of writing it.
Oh, I love that. That sounds so much fun. I love making arts and crafts. I want to do this.
So whether you're making a thankful flower or writing someone a letter, we encourage you to find ways to show you're thankful to someone in your holiday season.
So what do you say, Julia? Should we get started on writing our letters or doing this craft?
I'm going to make a thankful flower for a friend. She's been there for me through this very hard year, and I want to remind her of how thankful I am for her.
Oh, I love that for you.
What about you, Heather? Are you writing a letter or doing something else?
I think I'm going to stick to my letter. I'm going to write it to a friend of mine who is a teacher. I know that during these times, she's been having a lot of difficulty adapting to, all the changes we're seeing. And I just want to reach out to her and remind her that she's doing an amazing job to keep her head up and that she is loved.
That is really sweet of you. I'm sure she's going to appreciate that.
So while we start writing these letters and getting to work on them, I've been curious to ask Julia, what are some things that you are thankful for?
There's a lot. If I were making a thankful flower, mine would have a bajillion petals on it. Like, let's see, first and foremost, I am thankful for my health and the health of my family. I'm thankful for my job. That's a big one. I'm also thankful for my friends in my life who have managed to stay in touch. And even though I can't see them, I know they're doing their best to keep in touch, even if it's just a text here and there.
Oh, those are all great things to be thankful for.
What about you, Heather? What are you thankful for?
Let's see, a lot of the same stuff. My health, my job, my friends, my family. Every year I'm so thankful for my mom's cooking and food. I know it sounds silly, but since I can't cook, especially turkey, rely on my mom to prepare it. And she just always does an amazing job at it. Plus, food is such a staple to Thanksgiving. And being thankful that my mom has been able to keep that tradition going, it just helps the holidays feel much more warm and festive.
That's such a great point. I like
that. We have someone who wrote into us. Miss Wright says, I am thankful for my Girl Scout sisters.
Aw, so sweet. I'm thankful for our Girl Scout sisters too.
Me too. Tell us what you're thankful for in the comments. We'd love to hear from you.
Definitely.
Plus, during the holidays, it is a good reminder that not everyone is fortunate enough to have food on the table.
I mentioned that in our last episode. I was thinking of doing some volunteer work at the Houston Food Bank. That's a really great way to give back to those who are less fortunate.
That's right. We'll have to plan like a volunteering date.
How's your letter coming along, Heather?
Well, it's coming. I'm just stuck on this like little part.
What part?
So I'm trying to express to my friend that, she should keep her head up during these difficult times, but I'm also not a teacher anymore. So, I don't want to come off as fake, I'll never know exactly what she's going through. And I don't want to sound like I'm lying to her when I say, I know what you're going through because I've never had to be a teacher during a global pandemic,
I think I have something to help because we just learned about this. Remember our guest speaker during the OK to Say mental health patch program? It was called empathy, knowing what somebody is going through by putting yourself in their shoes.
Yeah, that's right.
So you can say something like, I may not know what you're going through personally, but I do know that it's been difficult to have an amazing teacher like yourself. Or something to that effect. I'm not that great of a writer.
No, that is a great idea. So how's your flower coming along?
I'm just about done. You want to see it?
Yes. Oh my goodness, it's beautiful.
And I wrote everything that I'm thankful for about her.
Who's that to?
And my friend, her name is Tanya.
Oh, I love that.
Well, what about you? Are you done with your letter?
Yeah. Well, I'm almost done, but you kind of want to hear what I wrote? I wrote, Dear Elena, I just wanted to send you a little note to tell you how proud I am of you. I know this year has been hard with teaching both in person and online, but I wanted to let you know that you are doing a stellar job. I am so thankful to have you as a friend, and I know all those third graders are thankful for you too. You got this, girl. Love, your friend, Heather.
Oh, cute. That was really sweet.
Thank you. I need to find now like a cute envelope and some stamps so I can send it to her.
I'm gonna wrap mine like a gift so I can give it to my friend when I see her again. Or maybe I'll even mail it to her.
Ah, I love that. So Girl Scouts and viewers, we hope that you got some inspiration to reach out to friends, family, and loved ones with some heartfelt messages.
Well, that's a wrap for today's episode.
Oh, and we won't be having an episode next week since we'll be on vacation with our family. So Girl Scouts and viewers, be sure to like, follow, and subscribe to our channels. We'll be back in December for a couple of more episodes before we wrap up 2020.
In the meantime, if you're joining us for the first time, check out our previous episodes.
That's right. I'm Heather.
And I'm Julia. Here's in Girl Scouting.
Bye.